That's all I know. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to
Did You? I'm Emmanuel Diaz.
And I'm Victor Carlos.
We are your fabulous host, and we're back, baby.
Ready to entertain.
Ready to entertain you. Ready to give you the breakdown of what's been happening. And, girl, we got a lot to talk about.
Yes. Yes, sir. Let's get right into it.
So today...
What are we talking about?
We are talking about Miss Beyoncé, Knowles Carter.
And what does she do?
And, well, I mean, I think she released a little album called...
Cowboy Carter, Act 2.
Or Beyoncé.
I'm not quite sure.
Or Beyoncé.
Yes, we're going to get into that.
But...
a little spice to come with the release.
This album was amazing. It was amazing. If
Cowboy Carter,
you haven't
Act
heard,
2,
where are you, girl? Because you're under a rock.
Been out for, I'd say, just over a week now.
Just over a little week, yes.
And
especially by the time this episode is released,
we're just gonna go through each song, talk about what we think about them,
which ones were our favorite.
Exactly.
We're just gonna go with the flow.
And after that, we're gonna move on to our next topic. Which is...
we're going to cover a little oldie but a goodie movie back in 2006.
A little comfort watch.
Yes, back in 2006. A fabulous movie.
Did you ever watch John Tucker Must Die? Because we have recently, and we just want to talk about it.
Especially in the light of the news that they might be getting a sequel.
Exactly.
So we wanted to retouch on this movie.
It's a classic original out from the early 2000s.
It
I believe
spoke
2006.
to me when I was in 6th grade.
Oh, yes. It was a sexual awakening for me, for sure.
A gay sexual awakening.
And then they parodied it in Not Another Teen Movie, I believe.
No, because that came out like 2001. That movie.
Well, it feels inspired by Not Another Teen Movie.
John Tucker Must Die hits all the tropes. All the tropes of the early 2000 rom-coms.
Yes, and we're going to go, yeah.
We'll get into it.
Exactly.
But first, let's get into Beyoncé.
Cowboy Carter.
Cowboy Carter.
Oof, I love that. That was cute.
Thank you.
Good job. She's been making us vocalists. We've been training, trying to memorize the song.
And it's a country stars.
Huh?
We're country stars now.
We're country stars,
thanks
baby.
to Beyonce.
Yes. All right. Starting off the album, we get this dreamy little ballad.
Her opening little song called American Requiem.
So a little trope that she has here. For all of her song titles that have an I in them, she put two I's in place of one, just to,
signify Act 2.
Exactly, and I like it. I think it's cute.
3-act journey.
I think it's real cute.
I like it. I like the style of her. I mean, come on.
So yes, American Requiem. What did you think about it?
It's great. Really good opening for this album. It just sets the tone. She's pissed and she's on a mission.
Absolutely.
She's on a mission. She's here to prove that she can do country.
Yes.
Miss Beyoncé can do country, okay?
Absolutely. And I feel as though it acts as like this good like kind of guide into like how this album's going to kind of go, what journey it's going to bring us on, cuz like we're going to go a lot of places, but like this is kind of like the main
force.
Exactly.
Yeah, the main force to the whole album.
And I think it just really sets like a nice tone for the rest of the album.
Oh, I definitely agree. I know in this song she also refers to her CMA's performance and how she wasn't accepted by the CMAs and
for her release of Daddy's
Daddy Issues with the chicks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we said, it's setting the tone of the whole album. And let's get into track number 2, Blackbird. This is a cover song of the Beatles, and she does great. I mean,
oh yeah, it's very delicate. And like just there's how many artists are on there? We have Tanner Andell, Brittany Spencer. We have Tierra. We have multiple artists.
Yeah, so like Tanner Adele, Brittany Spencer, and Tierra Kennedy.
And Raina Roberts.
We're letting
these women are such a melody.
Yeah,
all of them.
It all like sings forward. It just sings together, and they do a beautiful job, a beautiful rendition of the song. Beautiful cover. I love it.
Moving on, we have 16 Carriages, one of the singles that Beyonce released prior to the album's release.
I mean,
I love it. It's so like,
yeah.
And
listening to this album a few times, I like how it's just the album starts off like nice and slow. It's like a lullaby. It's lulling you to what's to come, basically, at the end of the album, which I feel like it just slaps. It just goes hard. So in the sense of this album, I think 16 Carriages fits at the beginning of this album. It really flows together between Blackbird and into the next song on Protector. Yeah, I mean, 16 Carriages really, I really like the song.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the whole album is divided into 3 parts, where it's like the first half is just kind of her wanting to kind of
cement herself into country.
Yes, but I'm talking in a way where it's like she wants to kind of work with people. It feels like in the first couple songs, and then half the middle of the album is kind of her just kind of warning y'all, like, don't fuck with me. And then the last half is her like just letting loose and like, I don't know. I feel like that's like
she does have a lot of people in the middle half too.
Yeah.
A lot of collaborators in that. I mean, we have Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, and all that.
Yes.
But then, the next track is Protector.
And we get a little sample with Rumi Carter.
Yeah, it's so cute.
So cute.
And then it's a lullaby for them, and
how she's just gonna always be there for them, no matter when. She knows that one day they won't need her, but
I'll be a projector.
Oh yeah.
No, it's so cute.
We get an interlude, basically My Rose. Nice little vocals. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular, but I mean,
it's like a little
Beyonce vocals are great.
Yeah,
anytime, every
give
time.
It to me.
Yeah,
give
I'll
it to
take
me.
it.
It's a nice interlude into another interlude, which is Smoke Hour with Willie Nelson.
Yes,
a nice little spoken word moment for Willie Nelson.
A little flipping of the channels. I believe. And it's just him kind of cementing her further into the country space.
Yeah.
And also just,
transitioning you to the next song.
Oh, yeah.
To the next.
Which is our second single. I don't know if this one was released first or second.
Technically it was released at the same time during the weekend.
Oh, they did release at the same time.
For the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Well, no, but we did know that these songs were released.
Texas Hold'em has just grown on me since its release.
And it fits so well with the album.
Oh my God, it's a fun one in the album. Yeah, I really do enjoy it now. And I get down.
Yeah.
Ever since we went to that country club.
A few weeks ago, we did some line dancing.
Oh, yeah, for the first time.
It was an experience. It was an experience. If they play Beyonce, we'll go again and we'll do some line dancing to Beyonce songs.
Imagine Beyonce playing?
I mean,
I need it.
Not to jump too much, but if they do Yaya, girl, I'm dancing. So then after Texas Hold'em, we have Bodyguard.
One of our personal favorites of the whole
album. The first time I heard it, I instantly fell in love with it. And that has not changed. In my opinion, has not changed. It's still, I think, my number one favorite song. Yeah. And it's so good.
Yeah. We were on our way to work, and it just really, it really just sets you into, some kind of,
It's a nice little pop country song.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yes, I love it. It's basically her just saying how she'll always be her man's bodyguard.
Yeah,
he'll be her bodyguard.
And I mean,
it goes. Little message.
It makes sense with all the photos that we get. She's always in front, and he's always behind.
Yeah,
it's so good. No, it's so good. And then we get our next track, which is an interlude. Dolly P. It's a voicemail. It's a voicemail from Dolly P to Miss Honeybee, Miss Beyonce. And it's just like that, that hussy with the good hair. Well, I had one just the same, and she
with
just
auburn hair.
With auburn hair, but different color hair, but it just hurts the same or whatever.
Yeah.
Cute little voicemail,
really good.
Yeah, and it leads to the cover of Jolene.
So
I love
honestly,
it.
This version of Jolene is my favorite version.
It's aggressive. That's
what I love about it. It's
come on, give it
just
to me. Yeah. Don't fuck with my man just because you think you can. Exactly, and just because you think you can doesn't mean you will succeed. No,
the lyrics, these change-ups are just
She's like,
severe.
This is a cemented relationship. What are you, all you gonna do is gonna make...
She said, I raised this man.
I raised his man, I raised these kids.
Yeah.
Come on now. They've been together for what, 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah. No, nobody's going in between them. And then we get Daughter. right after Jolene, which is honestly the perfect song to go after Jolene because it just follows that violence that don't fuck with me. I am the spitting image of my father, basically.
Yes.
I
am
the
like
daughter of my father.
A sequel to like Daddy's Lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where it's just her like
Daddy Lessons.
Daddy Lessons. Whoops. Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, no, Daughter is so good. She's
And like she gets
Daddy Lessons was a warning.
Are violent. Like,
yeah, Daddy Lessons was a warning. This is her
like I'm gonna. Beat
she did
you.
the action.
She's like, well, no,
she did the action.
She's thinking about it, and like these thoughts are like haunting her, but like she can't stop thinking about being a bitch, like to shit.
Yeah,
I love it. And then we get into Spaghetti. Spaghetti is one of the many tracks that is actually absent in the vinyl version.
Yes.
It's the first of 5.
We got our vinyl, and behold, it's missing the 5 tracks. I don't know if you're up to date with it, but the vinyls, the CDs have been missing tracks, which include Spaghetti and a few other ones, like Flamenco, which is fine. I don't mind. And then the Linda Martell show, Yaya, is just missing. Really good, especially Yaya.
Yes,
I love Yaya.
We'll talk more about the vinyl once we get through all the songs.
Yeah.
But Spaghetti is like it's one of those, I think, perfect songs that it blends like rap, it blends country
hip-hop,
together.
yeah.
And it just like really just it's a shorter song, but like it really just leaves its mark, and I just can't help.
It's more on the. I'm not an expert in country, but it feels more experimental in the countryside. You know, she's
for sure.
Like you said, she's blending all these genres together. I love it.
Yeah,
it's so good. We got Alligator Tears. Good vocals from Beyonce here. Really good. I love it. What do you have? What's your opinions?
Oh yeah, I like Alligator Tears. I feel like it's a good little melody. I don't think it's necessarily one of my favorites from the album, but it
has good vocals.
Oh, absolutely,
has good vocals. I mean, it's Beyonce.
Let's be real. That's for every single song here. Like,
well, yeah.
There's just you expect
there's no
great
question.
vocals, and you get great vocals. So
yeah. Then we get into the next interlude, Smoke Hour 2 with Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson again, yes.
And he's just transitioning us into Just for Fun. I like it. It's a nice little duet between her and Willie Jones. I mean, I have no opinion over it. It's not one of my favorites, but it just flows well with the album.
I would put it with, kind of level with Alligator Tears, where it's like it's a good song, but
it's
like it does
the vocals,
but like there's something in these other songs where it just really lets them stand out, and really just like
it just has more to it.
Yeah.
And then speaking of more to it,
my God.
The next track is Two Most Wanted with Beyonce and Miley Cyrus.
One of my favorite tracks.
I was not
album.
expecting a duet between them. I mean, obviously online we were all expecting maybe it'll be a duet between her and Lady Gaga,
right,
like a
little to Telephone.
Right, but we did not get that this album. Hopefully next album.
Let me tell you, Two Most Wanted.
It was a nice
vocals,
surprise.
The way that they mix and just kind of. It's so sweet. Like they complement each other so well vocally.
Yeah.
And I really can't imagine the song being any better. And it's really, if this is the only time Beyonce and Miley ever work together and collaborate, it's that'll be fine with me, because like it's just so it knows what it is.
Well, they've collaborated before on the Stand Up for Cancer promotion back in like the mid 2000s. It was a bunch of women. We got Mary J. Blige, we got Beyonce, Miley, Mariah Carey. It was like a bunch of women singing one song, and it was like a promotion for this awareness to cancer foundation. But I mean, that was just for promotion. Like this is like them actually collaborating together on Beyonce's album. Like she got to be on Beyonce's album. Good for you, Miss Miley Cyrus. Great. Oh my God. No, one of my favorites of this album for sure. Then after that we get
Levi's Jeans. With Beyonce and Post Malone.
Mr. Austin Post. Yo, Post worker.
Is that his name, Austin Post?
Yeah.
Yes. I think this is one of the most marketable songs in the album.
Yeah. I think it's already been playing on radio stations.
Oh, really?
I think so,
I could see this being like one of the main songs that actually like stick in the country spheres. One of the songs that we could actually see, like if we went to Cowboys again, the local country bar here, we'd be hearing that most likely
probably
out of the majority of these songs.
Yeah, it's it could be very mainstream for sure.
Yeah.
And then we get Flamenco. Not one of my favorites. Don't really.
Yeah. It's not memorable.
It's not memorable. But I mean, it's another Beyonce song. It flows well with the album.
Yes,
so.
and also it is the additional song that was marketed in the description for the
CD version,
for the limited cover CD version.
But it's missing on the vinyls.
Yeah.
And then the next song that we have is also missing in both the vinyl and the CD, the Linda Martell Show, which jumps to transition into the next song,
Yeah, which is some can debate the best song on the album.
In the album.
It's just it's completely Beyonce, like in every way.
It's so good.
Yes.
God.
This is the kind of knife through the heart for us because we got the
vinyl
the
and
limited
this song
edition
is not on it.
Cover, yeah. And it's just really hard, but
it is.
It's really hard.
I mean, if she does release another vinyl with all the 5 missing tracks, we're just gonna have to get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, just take my money. Just take my money, I guess. And then after that, we get Oh Louisiana, which is also missing on the CD and the vinyl.
It makes me really sad because I actually really enjoy Oh Louisiana because it feels like kind of like the breaks after Yaya.
I mean, Yaya is just foot pounding on the wood floor. You're just the whole place is just trembling. It's shaking.
Yeah.
You're dancing to the song, and Miss Beyonce is leading you as you dance. She's mind controlling you in Yaya, and then Yaya like just ends. Not abruptly, but it goes like a quick like downward trend.
It feels like
into Oh Louisiana, and it just flows so well.
Yeah,
I don't know how else.
Oh
to describe
Louisiana
it.
feels like the day after when you're just hungover and you're just waking up.
Oh my god, that's a good description.
You know.
You're just waking up and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then you're just feeling in that hazy. Yeah. That's a good description of Louisiana. And then we get Desert Eagle.
It goes right into
it, and you're like, well, it's just another day. You're wearing your sunglasses out because you're hungover.
No,
your mind is.
It's literally like that.
Yeah.
It's
you're
just
out
like
there. You're in the world, but you have to.
There's something twangy about it, like the instrumentation, and like it does definitely feel like, oh fuck, I just gotta get through this.
You just gotta. You're like, fuck, I have to do errands. Well, let's get this shit done.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Which is so funny because it gets the next song contrasts it really well, I would think. Riverdance.
Yeah.
Riverdance just makes me so happy. Every time I hear it, I can't help but smile.
It's a nice little melody for me. It's so good.
It's just so wholehearted.
I don't know if you hear it, but I'm trying to use my nails as an instrument, just like Beyonce does in Riverdance. I hear it on the headphones. So we'll see.
Through the river, running through the river, dance.
Oh yeah, I mean, good. I like this song a lot. It flows well, like you said. It just right after Desert Eagle. It does what it needs to be done. Mm-hmm. Then we get Two Hands to Heaven.
Yes.
Nice little melody. She's singing us to heaven, essentially.
That's a lovely way to put it. I really enjoy this one. I think it's one of her like sweeter ballads, just kind of like it doesn't necessarily ever kind of open up. I feel like it's just kind of like very soft.
Yeah. I mean, good.
Of course. I'm not a critique
I'm not
at
listening
all.
to this in the club or in the gym.
No.
But whenever I'm in the mood to just relax, this is one of those songs. If this one's bringing you up into the clouds, the next song is bringing you hard back down into earth with Tyrant. We get a little clip of Dolly Parton in the beginning, and then it just goes hard.
I think this kind of parallels Spaghetti as being like that perfect kind of balance between rap and country, and all those influences that do make Beyonce like herself. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite songs in the album as well. It just goes so hard. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say?
I mean, I can say, giddy up, giddy up.
Giddy up, giddy up. And then you have like the horse hooves in the background, like the little, like
Yeah, that transition leads into the next song of the album.
And the violin in it.
Oh my God, the violin. Yes.
No, it's just such a great song.
I mean, the whole album, if I remember correctly from what she said, it's all natural instruments.
Majority,
Nothing.
Hundreds of instruments.
Yeah, hundreds of instruments. Hundred of
she's had to
classic
and just get people
country
to play
instruments. Yeah,
and there are notable people that are playing these these instruments that are not credited.
In Jolene, Stevie Wonder's was playing the harmonica.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so funny. I don't have any other examples other than that one.
Right.
But it just makes you wonder who else is also in this album.
Yeah, exactly. This is really like just kind of a labor of love, everybody coming together. It was like it was very like well put together. You know that time was spent on this.
Yeah.
And I can only fucking wish that it was all on the final.
I know. We'll get it. If
I know.
So then the next song is Sweet Honey Buckin'.
Lovely.
Buckin'. Like a mechanical bull.
Buckin'. No, I love Sweet Honey Buckin'. It feels very similar to Renaissance's
Pure Honey.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this whole album
kind of mirrors it.
Yeah, there's so many songs that matches the Renaissance vibe just in country vibe. Like we got the house version, now we get the country version, and if we do get a rock version, that'll be on the next album.
So ideally, that's what a lot of people are predicting, that the third act will be a rock album.
Yeah.
So the first album was dedicated to her Uncle Johnny.
Yeah. People are speculating this album is for her mom.
Yes, this is dedicated to her mother.
Yeah.
And people are
probably wondering maybe if the next album is going to be dedicated to her sister Solange.
Yes.
And if it's a duet album for Act 3 between her and her sister,
that would be phenomenal.
Even if we at least get one song.
A rock album dedicated to Solange.
That would be nice.
That would be. And could you imagine, like, she's got this horse motif for the album covers now. Like, she's kind of solidified it. Mm-hmm. I'd love, like, a zebra. A zebra would be so
zebra a horse?
Yes.
Okay.
A zebra is like a wild horse.
I guess. It's also called differently. It's called a zebra.
Because it's so like, it's got to be a zebra. Bitch, it would be so country.
Either that or it's going to be a black horse. Like jet black, black hair, just everything. You know what I mean? Just pure black.
She's
with a black screen, with a black background. That'll be kind of a serve, you know? And then we just she pops out more, you know?
Yes.
But if you look like closer, it's a nice black horse. It just blends in.
And in the first album cover, she's like riding that horse like cowgirl.
And in the first one, the horse is stationary.
Right.
You know, the horse is not moving. She's just on it.
Right.
Posing. I mean, she's posing in the second one too, but in the second one, the horse is running. You can tell it's actively, you can see there's motion.
Right.
So the next one, I think the horse is like up on its back legs and its front legs, like, I don't know what it's called, but you know, it's just it's reached its destination. She's like, yeah.
I just need to see like a good like a good neigh in the face.
Yeah,
like.
exactly. But, like a little drool. No,
Jesus Christ.
But our last song of the album, "Amen," which is a sequel to American Requiem,
and it actually kind of
adds onto it,
and it leads back into.
If you keep it as a loop on the digital version, it'll send you from "Amen." Like the last song, the 27th track on the album will lead right back into the first track of the album. So it's a nice little loop.
It almost feels
you don't
like
know when the next song begins because it has that same the same instruments in the background. It's just like American Requiem, so it
similar
just
vocals,
blends in really well.
Yeah, it almost feels like she's turning an hourglass over because like there's like a little like
it's a
reversal of like vocals in the end of Amen.
Right.
So this was actually supposed to be the first act released.
Right, that's what she said. It was supposed to be before Renaissance.
But the pandemic happened.
2020, and she wanted us to dance.
Exactly. So that was the reason of releasing Renaissance first. But could you imagine if this was released first and then Renaissance?
I think it would have still done well. Like, let's say the pandemic didn't happen, and obviously there's still division in America. And whatnot. I mean, till this day, even if the pandemic did not happen, I think country would have still done really well because it'll with Renaissance. I feel like, okay, yes, we expected her to do that kind of music. We expected her to slay that kind of genre. You know, with country, it could have been one way or another. I mean, Lady Gaga tried country and it did not go well for her. Beyonce could have done also maybe just as bad, maybe a little bit better than Gaga.
Yeah.
But she did fantastic. And I think
it really
and
did.
she did in 16 Carriages, like it references how she wrote this song back when she was 32 or 34. I don't remember how old. And currently she's 38, I believe. So she's written these songs 4 years ago, which is basically during the pandemic. Like she wrote Act 1, 2, and 3. She already had a concept. She already started writing songs for every.
Act 3 has been in production.
Oh, just like this one. Just like this one.
You know, that's what kind of disappoints me about like the
vinyls,
the merchandising of it all. Yes, because if you guys have access to the Renaissance Act 1 vinyl, it's like
it's a booklet.
It's like 2 centimeters thick, like half an inch thick.
It's a nice, heavy.
There is like a booklet. There's a poster. There's the double.
Obviously,
LP,
the 2 CDs. Yeah.
And then this limited edition, of course, and what people are saying,
it's still quality.
There is nothing in the description saying
that had no track list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I understand.
You can't say that.
I swallow.
Oh, right.
My pride.
Yeah. Yes.
But it's just like
it was a surprise, though.
Yes, so it's a regular kind of vinyl thickness.
Yeah.
All the packaging.
We got it in color blue. They had it in 4 different colors: red, white, and blue, and then the classic black.
I love that.
Yeah, and then the back of the vinyl itself had
is a limited image for each
different
vinyl.
images. Yeah, and then the front cover they all were the same. It was the limited Beyoncé cover.
Yes,
of her standing just like the Statue of Liberty, and then she has a sash over it, and it says Act 2 Beyoncé. Just spell Beyonce just without an O. It's an I.
Yes, which is.
I mean, give it to me. I love that. I love it. But so I am missing those 5 songs.
Beyonce cover is an homage to her mother's maiden name.
Yeah, like the generations before her and whatnot. How they would always spell their names wrong, and like
when
the doctors.
Yeah,
they would spell like the last name wrong, and how it. They tried to change it, and they basically said, "Well, just be grateful that you even have a birth certificate."
Crazy.
So this is just being an homage to
her family.
To her family's legacy. Taking back that narrative, just taking back reclamation of it.
Yes.
This album is already like charting everything, all the charts. I think 16 songs already like in the top for like the country genre.
You're kidding me.
In the country category in Apple Music, like 16 of the songs in the album are already in the top 16 they're in the top 100 at least or whatever.
And you know why? It's because she's bringing so many people into country at the same time. You know?
Yeah, and it's just so. I mean, you can't deny how good this album is and how well she does country.
And you can't deny she's changing the course of country.
Yeah. And another podcast that we heard, like they describe this album like a Western, and I agree. It feels like a movie. You're just going along this journey. And I even think she even said like each song is basically based off of Western movies, whether they'll be old or recent.
Yeah,
it's just
she
based
had them
off
playing
of those vibes
in the background as she was recording this album.
Yeah. But going back to the vinyl experience and that controversy of it all.
The only thing on the vinyl that said Cowboy Carter was the sticker on the plate on
the plastic of the plastic
and also
wrapping,
sadly, and no one will believe us, but it's the truth.
Oh yeah,
our vinyl came chipped.
It came chipped.
A tiny little chip.
A tiny little chip. It doesn't.
Musically.
Yeah. It's we played it through a couple times now, and it plays really well on our player.
Gorgeous. The blue
it's so good.
Is so
it's translucent,
nice.
So it just glows. It's so beautiful. But some theories are saying that she was working on this album up until like the last minute, so that's why 5 of these songs are not included in the CDs and the vinyls, because it takes a few weeks for it to be produced and just made, and for all like the songs to be added. It just takes the process takes a while, and people are saying that that's why it's the limited edition cover, because on the like Victor said, like on the vinyl, you don't see any reference to Cowboy Carter except for the sticker. Like the sleeve itself of the vinyl, like even on the what you call that? The spine of the cover, it says Beyoncé Act 2, and then Beyoncé in the middle, Beyonce from Beyonce, title Beyoncé, and then all the way in the bottom Act 2. So you can assume from that originally this album was supposed to be called Beyoncé,
right?
And then eventually she changed it to Cowboy Carter, added these songs, just like Yaya and Oh wait, Tyrant is the one that mentions Cowboy Carter. I don't know. I guess she just decided to add it later, or was that Yaya? I don't know. In one of the songs, I don't know if it was one of the missing ones or not.
So in Tyrant, it mentions Cowboy Carter. Dolly Parton.
Oh,
says
it was
Cowboy
Dolly
Carter.
Parton, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were thinking like, oh my.
Oh, and Yaya too, because when she's talking to the crowd,
yeah.
Okay. I'm not going crazy. It's both songs.
You're good.
And then I guess she just eventually changed it to Cowboy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's our review of Cowboy Carter.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Oh,
stars?
I mean, 100.
100?
100 out of 10.
I would agree.
I'm not an expert in country, but this is country.
Oh my god.
With CUNTRY, baby.
No. It's spelled differently. It's like
CUNTRY. Is it not? Country.
I was gonna spell it the way she spells it. KNTRY.
Oh, KNTRY. Yeah. That's the radio station in the album of what Willie Nelson is playing.
But I like
so
your
good.
spelling.
Thank you. It's country.
But
yeah, that's what we got from Cowboy Carter. I hope you enjoyed our review of it. And listen to the album if you have not. I mean, it's been out for a while now, so if you haven't, wake up. And then we'll take a little short break, and when we get back, it's our review of Mr. John Tucker Must Die. We'll be back.
See ya. All right.
Hi.
Moving on.
Welcome back.
Hello.
So now in this part of the podcast, we're going to cover an oldie but a goodie.
Yes.
A movie from the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
And what is it called?
I think it's called John Tucker Must Die.
Oh my God. I think he must.
He must. We must.
But did you guys watch this show back when it was released?
Yeah, this movie.
About almost 20 years ago.
A movie.
And now it's getting reports that we're possibly getting a sequel to it. Come on now.
Wow. So this has been a very popular trend lately in the entertainment industry.
I mean, I feel like it's always been a trend. Like early 2000s was like yeah, but early 2000s were making 90 movies. Now we're remaking early 2000 movies and early 2010 movies. Like we're either coming back as we're always coming back as reboots or as remakes, and I mean it's expected. We're getting that nostalgia era.
But like now it's kind of like these like just 20-year-old sequels. Like they're not necessarily like reboots. They're like
right, and you also like, don't necessarily think you would get a sequel to this movie after after 20 years.
Where could they take this? Like,
right. We'll get to that at the end. But let's talk about our opinions about this movie.
All right. So we're just gonna kind of go scene by scene.
Scene by scene-ish.
Notable moments.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's a movie that you shouldn't be taking too serious. It's quirky. It's funny. The writing could be cheesy at some points. Other points, I'm like, oh, that's really funny. Yeah. Like they have good moments. They have okay moments.
Yeah, it's that early
overall, I would
cringe.
say, overall, I would say, but it's good. Yeah. Just it's one of the classic rom-coms. You don't think of it in the moment, but has that cult following to it.
Yes, of course. It's got like that Mean Girl-esque quality to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it just follows like the same kind of tropes and whatnot.
First off, Jenny McCarthy as the mom. As Kate's mom.
Jenny McCarthy. What is she doing in this film? I don't know. She doesn't know.
This girl is like...
I guess she's dating all these men, and then after all these men, she decides to move to a different town.
So Jenny McCarthy, Kate's mom. Kate is the main character. Jenny McCarthy...
Played by Brittany Snow.
Yes. So she's very promiscuous, I guess, and rightfully so. You know, go you,
yeah,
girl.
do you.
But every time she...
fails in a relationship, like the guy ends up leaving
her and Kate move.
Yeah, Kate nicknames all these men that she dates as Skip because each one they skip away, they skip out, they just leave just leave the house, and mom is left to pick up the pieces, eat a bunch of ice cream, the typical.
So Kate is just detached to all these like male figures that come and go through the house. But yeah, every time a relationship ends, they just move
to a different town.
That's so neglectful as a parent.
That's so. I mean, so neglectful. Just like the beginning, the first like scene of the movie is like a spelling bee competition at I think it's 7th grade. And it's Brittany Snow playing this character. This girl does not look like 7th grade.
Oh, I know.
I mean, let alone
they put
let alone
pigtails on this bitch, and they covered her tits, and they're like,
you can tell it's
it's
smushed down by a very powerful sports bra, and girl,
and then they have like the nameplate over her, and shit.
Yeah, like her number.
So funny.
It doesn't. No, she does not look like a 7th grader. No,
I know,
then for the rest of the movie, she's supposed to be playing a high school student. No, she looks at least college.
No, all of them do, and
they all do.
They're doing some college ass shit. Like John Tucker himself, he's taking like 3 girls on the same date.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Hopefully
and
not
Kate,
on the same night. That's
right.
No.
I know, but Kate is like a waitress
at this restaurant,
and she sees John taking a girl out on a date.
Yeah, she's like narrating the story of like, oh, how John Tucker dates all these women.
Because he takes
and she's like, oh, he has this girlfriend, and then the next night she's like, oh wait, he has 2 girlfriends, and then the next night she's like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Yes, and then we find out like her coworker was an ex or something,
right?
Which is like a silly little moment.
2 silly moments with this actress.
Yeah, living for it.
But that's what I also like about this movie a lot. It doesn't take itself serious, you know. Like
exactly.
It makes fun of itself. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? And it just, you just keep tumbling along with the movie itself.
Yes.
The movie is tumbling, and it doesn't care that it's tumbling.
No.
And that's what I enjoy about it. It's enjoying itself, so I'm enjoying myself watching it.
Yeah, you can't go in there like feeling like, you got to go in there like knowing like you're gonna hear some like stupid ass shit, like some crude ass shit. But, like, it's fun.
It has early 2000 humor, so maybe some jokes are a little outdated. We'll get there if we get there. I don't know.
And yes, we will. That is notable. Yes. The dirty little secret walkthrough montage.
Oh, that was great.
I love it.
A great song to have playing in the background as he's walking through the cafeteria or like the open area of the school. This school looks like a mall. It does not look like a high school.
Nova Southeastern University.
No.
You even thought there was an escalator in there at one point. I was like, girl,
this was a mall.
Can you imagine? My goodness.
But yeah, no, perfect use of that song. They use it twice in the beginning, like during that montage, and then towards the
It's like the whole like trope
scenes
of the movie, like
'cause
he's like dating these women
I feel like
secret.
they based off of the whole
movie's
like
like
based off of this song.
Yeah, it feels like that, huh? And there's like even one point with the coach where he like kind of interacts with her and she faints, but it ends up like being.
She gets basically like a little heart attack or whatever,
and she gets like an early retirement payout.
Well, no, I think she's just recovering. I think they said she's in the hospital recovering.
Well, I know it's just a happy ending.
I guess for her. I don't know. We don't really get much of her
also,
again.
There's like a lot of like brutally honest students just like unpromptedly like yelling things out throughout the movie.
What do you mean?
I can't remember anything in particular, but like they just say something like very like.
You need to come with the receipts.
I know. I'm so sorry. That volleyball fight scene when everybody finds out like they're dating John Tucker.
Yeah.
And this bitch, what's her name? The head
I'm surprised
cheerleader.
It hasn't happened sooner.
Head cheerleader, what's her name?
Oh, Ashanti.
Yeah.
It's played by Ashanti.
Yes.
I don't remember the names.
She
I'm bad at names.
She hears the blonde girl, Beth, I think her name is. No, Beth is the vegetarian slut.
I don't know. But Ariel Kebble, who is the blonde chick in the film,
she's bragging about how she's dating John Tucker,
and Ashanti's like,
she
no,
throws
you're not
in her fucking face.
Yeah,
and then she's
a couple times,
2 times. She's like, I'm not playing around, bitch.
Like, yeah, and then the vegetarian one comes in. She says, if anybody's dating John Tucker, it's me.
Right,
and then they get into a fight. Brittany Snow is just a casualty on the side, but then she just screams out saying, like, basically, stop fucking with each other because he's the one that's in the wrong. And then all 4 women end up in detention.
That coach does not step in for a while.
That coach does not do
anything,
and then she makes everybody get in trouble.
No, what a bitch.
What a bitch.
Our main character Kate meets other Tucker in the library. So John Tucker's younger brother. And
they're also in the same chemistry class together.
Yes, this is the first time.
I don't know if it's a wig. Do you think it's a wig?
I don't know. That's a lot of volume for him.
That's a perm. He has long hair and he got a perm. I don't know, but it's big and luscious. I don't know if it's a wig. Is it a wig?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of hair. For
it is a lot.
Man.
I mean, he does have a lot of hair in Gossip Girl for a while too. So
okay,
could be that. Okay. I don't know. But Mr. Penn Badgley.
Yeah, and that goes on to our detention scene where
all the women are there. So we get we get a scene with Ashanti's character and John Tucker, and John Tucker's like giving her an explanation like, oh, all these women are crazy, don't worry, it's only you, blah blah blah. And then as Ashanti is explaining it during detention, they're all like, he said the same fucking shit to me.
They say everything in unison.
Verbatim. Yeah, verbatimly. And then that's when they all realize like, are we being played? And then Brittany Snow is just like, she whispers, shut up. And then they're like, do you have something to say? And then she just basically lays it out to them like, He's playing you guys,
all of y'all, yeah. And she's like, you guys shouldn't. Like...
And then they're like, what? Do you have an idea? Do you have what do you suggest we do? And she's like, well, get him back.
Yeah, you guys got to get even. And they're like, oh,
right.
And so then we cut to the girls all showing up to Kate's house, like uninvited.
Yeah. You know, and she's like, well, you came up with the idea, so you're planning it with us.
Yeah. So we finally have a team officially.
And also Kate is like basically saying, oh, I have experience with men like this. Not really disclosing the real fact of like it's her mom's experience.
She has experience adjacent.
Right. But the girls don't know that.
Yeah. So we cut back to school, and the girls are in like this like back room with like a bunch of like storage stuff, and there's like this projector.
Yeah, the computer room or whatever.
Their little like base. And they're
headquarters.
They have like a little PowerPoint presentation where they decide that they have to make John Tucker undateable to get even with him, and that's how we start off our plan.
Right. I think the first one is like the herpes scene.
Yeah, there's a photo shoot that the vegetarian girl, the vegan or vegetarian girl, she sets up a little photo shoot for him, and like it's a real sexy photo shoot.
Right, he's out in the forest, he's shirtless, jeans on, just being very sexy. And then he goes to the movie with this new girl.
Not part,
right, not part of the three.
And on the screen prior to the movie is an ad for genital herpes.
Yeah, and it's using those photos from the forest. And then so then he's just, and then he gets an award.
Yeah, it backfires because he gets an award for being like such a standout like.
Yeah, I mean, I can compare this to Mean Girls in a sense, how they're trying to take down Regina, but at first, like how they try to take down Regina kind of like backfires on them. Like it just makes Regina look more relatable, if anything.
And like in the new one, the musical, how they like spray her with the sprinklers,
right? And they brought she brought the wet look back, and like the runny makeup. Yeah. It's just following that kind of trope of rom-com, of high school movies. You know, there's always has to be the hierarchy and whatnot.
And then they move on to their next phase of the plan, where Ashanti's character steals estrogen pills from her mother,
right?
And they put it inside
of more femme and whatnot.
Yeah, and she goes to one of John Tucker's practices, and she puts them all in his protein powder. And like she's basically just kind of like takes a shot at his ego and is like, "Oh, you're looking a little like slim. Yeah, you should double up on your protein."
Right.
And so now he's just like,
I guess it works fast because immediately he feels sensitive. Like during one of the tournaments, he's like, you're not listening to me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
my nipples are sensitive. And then he just runs away crying.
Yeah, he's very like emotional.
But then that kind of backfires again on the girls, because now we have a lot of women who are like, oh, I love a man with a soft side. And then now he's opened himself to a new market.
Yeah, these girls are literally coming to him to talk to him and praise him for being emotional on the court. And they're just like, please take me.
Right.
And so he breaks up with all of the other girls that he's dating, like you said.
And then breaks them up in the same, like he uses the same speech on each girl. And then we get a montage of each girl slapping him back. Mm-hmm. Well, slapping him.
The girls set up this little like communal breakup comfort meal where they're just eating like a bunch of like junk food. Mm-hmm. And they're planning to have Kate date him and break his heart.
Yeah.
So that's our new plan here.
Yeah, they're like, what if we put all our traits together and then we put them on you, and then it's the perfect girl for John Tucker.
Yeah. So Ashanti's character makes Kate an honorary cheerleader,
right,
and puts her on the top of the pyramid, which is a funny little scene because like
it tumbles. They tumble.
And
there's no mat, no protection, and nobody broke a bone or anything. Nobody died. Mm-hmm. Not realistic. And then that kind of like starts the motion of, John Tucker goes up to Ashanti's character and he's like, oh, who is that?
He sees Kate from afar.
Yeah, he sees Kate from afar and asks who that girl is. He's never really seen her because Kate's persona in the beginning of the movie, she's invisible. She's not really seen, just that stereotypical teenage girl who just is always like the unknown,
the wallflower.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, who's that girl? And then Ashanti is, just being more like trying to play it mysterious, trying to play it up.
Yeah.
And then John Tucker calls her cute. Ashanti goes, okay, well, she dates college men, and then just walks away.
Right.
And then she like drags Kate into the bathroom, and then all the girls are there, and then they bring up like that's when they find out that Kate never really dated anybody because she's hung up on that John Tucker called her cute.
Yeah, yes, it's so
yeah.
So these girls are like, oh, we need to like give you a crash course on what to do because you're clearly clueless.
You got to count up to 3.
Yeah,
don't respond so quickly.
The 3-second rule is fun. Yeah,
it's so funny.
Have him say something. Wait 3 seconds to respond.
Because then we get an interaction between John Tucker and Kate.
Yeah, down the hall, and
and you can see her mouthing 1, 2, 3. And then he's like, oh, and then he just. Right. Every time she's about to chime in, he just starts talking. He's like, "Okay, well, what about this?" And blah blah blah.
It's
like
basically
it's basically
a
working.
Prompt.
Yeah. Oh man, not an ABA term. But yeah, she plays it up well, whatever, blah blah blah, and then it gets him interested, and I think that's when what's next after that?
He sends her hundreds of white roses.
Oh, that's right, because she says something slick, and then she sends a bunch of roses.
Yeah.
He goes on the intercom, I think, or makes somebody go on the intercom and says, "You can reach me on the text me on this number."
Yes, he gives out his number live to everybody in school,
and you can see like the background, right? You can see in the background, girls are writing down the numbers, and she's not because she has all these flowers on her.
Yeah.
And then the next interaction, I love this comment, and because he's like, I never got a call from you, and then she replies back saying, "Well, I didn't have a pen," and just walks away. What comes after that?
We find out that the girls are filming everything as they're kind of going through the process.
Right.
To kind of like.
They have a good camera.
How
are they getting up so close?
I don't know. And some of these shots, I'm like, where were you?
Where were you? And you were probably right there up their nose.
Oh, wow.
And they notice?
Unquestioned.
Right,
like,
unquestioned.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, wow, you got that. And then there's a game, and John kind of comes up to her.
Right, during the middle of the game.
Like, the last couple
seconds, yeah.
And he's like,
go on this date to me at the beach. Say yes, and she's like, make the shoot, and I'll go. And then he makes the score. They win, and
and they go on the date.
Their first date at it's a whole like school event where they go out to watch the sunset at the beach. There's like a nice little fire, a fire pit and whatnot. And it's cute. It's a cute little moment. A lot of pickup lines this whole movie.
So bad.
So, I mean, it's so cheesy. Like, there's one moment at the beach where he is facing her, but she is facing the sunset. And then he's like, I'll just take in this view. And she's like, well, the sunset is behind you. He's like, well, I'm not. Yeah, that view. But I'm talking about the view of all the people's faces that I'm here with a beautiful girl, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cheesy.
So cheesy.
But, I mean, what if I said that to you? What if you said that to me? Cute. Especially in the first moment.
So then Kate goes to the Jeep when they're planning on heading out.
Right.
And Beth gets inside.
Because they all the girls realize, oh my gosh, she's never kissed anybody before.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know what to do in this moment.
So they have like a quick practice makeout session.
Yeah, Beth comes into the Jeep and she teaches her how to kiss. They kiss. And
some pervert is watching, some high schooler.
Right. And then
she flashes the lights, and then John Tucker is like, whoa. And then,
John's already coming back to the
he's
Jeep.
already walking back.
So Beth has to hide in the back seat.
Yeah, she jumps to the back, hides under the... His Jeep is a mess.
Yeah.
She's hiding under a bunch of gym clothes, probably.
White men.
Yeah, white men, specifically. And then just John
drives
is driving
Kate home,
right, and then just the journey back home, they're just trying to avoid him finding out that the other girl is hiding in the back.
Kate tells him like,
walk me to the door,
so that Beth has an opportunity to escape. And Beth gets stuck.
The vegan,
she gets stuck. Her dress stuck in the car door or something.
Like it's just snagged, and she can't pull away. It can't rip or anything.
And at this point, John kind of stops halfway through to the door, and he's like, I can't
do this because I know I want to kiss you.
Yeah, he's confessing.
And he's like, I don't want to. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to move this fast. I don't want to ruin anything that we've been kind of building. I don't want to.
She has been just very unavailable and like very hard,
very coy. She's been playing the part.
Yeah. And he's just like, I can't take it.
yeah. So he doesn't want to move that fast in case, whatever.
Yeah.
But then she like pulls him back and she's like, and like tries to plan a kiss. They bump heads and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, just so Beth has more time to escape because she's like stuck.
But then she does like kiss him.
And then the sprinklers go off.
Yeah. And then they run to the door. And then
her little mic gets cut off.
They're about to kiss again and they get zapped.
Yeah. It's so silly.
But luckily Beth is already like, she has to leave. She got out of the skirt because the skirt was still on the Jeep as he's like driving away. It's just, I'm sure he noticed that there was a skirt. So like, no questions were asked, I guess. I would have been like, oh my God.
I don't know, because she...
A runaway inmate.
She did find a fucking bra just in the backseat of his car. So it's like, this man is not paying attention.
That's true. That's very true.
So when
100% hemp.
When Kate gets home, her mom warns her about like what she's doing. Like, it's not necessarily like okay,
right? And then Kate
claps back.
Yeah,
she claps back. She's like, "What are you talking about? Like, you like do not. You're like the last person that can give me advice on relationships." Like,
and mom is like, "What is that supposed to mean?"
You know exactly what it means,
right? She is acting a little bitchy, but I mean, mom is acting oblivious. Like, you cannot expect like the actions that you've been doing. You don't think they've been affecting your daughter in any way? Right. Like, come on now.
And then we cut to like a scene where it's Kate and the girls in her bedroom, and she gets a call from John, and he's like in his Jeep, like right outside
riding
her door.
around, yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, like I don't know, there's just this perv that's like been like,
I think I'm gonna call the cops."
Yeah,
and then he gets nervous, drives away. It's just a
fun little moment. Yeah,
they have a lot of really fun little moments.
Yeah, we have a boat date between.
That's right. So he takes her to the same restaurant where she. I don't know if she currently still worked there or not.
Right.
But she takes him to the restaurant where we kind of start off the movie where she sees all these girls that he's dating. And they're not eating at the restaurant.
No,
he rented out a boat.
Either that or it's his like family boat. And
I think he rented out.
And all the other girls are like, I've never been on the boat.
I never. Yeah.
So this is when we realize, like, oh, she's actually like, he actually really likes her.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
and then
she's not herself,
and she's far away. Like each date that Kate has been on, they planted like a little camera. But now that she's on the boat and she's kind of too far from them,
they lose signal.
They lose signal. So the girls try to get on like this little dingy little boat, and they're trying to get closer to the boat that Kate is on. They're not going fast enough. Ashanti's character starts hitting the damn motor, and then the motor falls into the water, and now they're stuck.
These girls are stuck on this dingy little boat.
They don't show how they make it back, but they make it back somehow.
They start freaking out too because they do not have signal.
Yeah, they don't have signal. So I mean,
it's just like a little pan away of them screaming.
Yeah,
it's so good. And then we like cut back to John and Kate on the boat,
and look like they're having a magical time. And
they do some white ass shit. They throw like an empty wine bottle into the river,
and then she narrates saying how like this is the first time where she was actually alone with John Tucker, like where the girls weren't listening and whatnot.
And she catches them up after the fact. They kind of regroup, and then we get a scene of the blonde girl. I forgot her name again, but she's in the locker rooms, and she's inside one of the lockers, and she's
because Kate is like, oh, I don't know if I want to hurt him anymore. He's just been so sweet and whatnot. So she's getting like, okay, well, you need reason why. You need more reason. Yeah. So she's hiding in the men's locker room, and the guys come back from some kind of practice or whatever, and she's filming the men talking. So like, literally locker room talk.
Yeah.
And they're calling John whip and whatnot, saying he's hung on Kate and whatnot. And then, for a little bit, he's like, come on. No, it's not that. But, I do really like the girl. And they're like, oh, he's with us. So then he
has to be a little machismo.
Right. And then he said, what exactly does he say?
During that the plan is to like
on game night
hook up with her. Yeah. At the away game.
Yeah.
At the hotel.
So then the girl who's hiding in the locker,
recording
like,
all of that,
bingo.
And then she shows Kate. Yeah. Just that part, though.
Just very
a little out of context,
a little out of context.
Like,
but then later on, Kate makes the comment because she confronts John saying, "Oh, so you said all this thing," and he's like, "How did you know?" And he's like, "I have my ways, whatever, blah blah blah." Right. And he's like, "Oh, it's just locker room talk." But she mentions because he mentions how like you don't rush things with a Bordor, like an uncorked Bordor wine, and then like you don't just do it on the first night. You save it.
Yeah, you don't open like an 86 Bordeaux on a random night. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, the girl with the camera, the blonde girl, I forgot her name, but she's like, you can tell like she made everything out of context, so just like put clips together.
Yeah, she wanted to mislead Kate
to
make
create
it
a narrative
just, like, as bad as possible.
And it worked because, like I said,
Oh
she
yeah,
confronts him
she
and
is
whatnot.
like, I'm gonna destroy this man now.
Right, and then he's like, come on, let me prove it. And then, he basically says, you know what? Let me announce it right now. Yes, I am Whip, blah, 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 and gives her the watch. Or was that
That's
after the
further.
game?
Yeah, that's a little further.
All right. That is old.
Yeah,
Okay.
so then we have the away game, and we have the kind of the...
I think the sexiest scene in the whole movie.
Oh, absolutely. So they go to the hotel that they're staying at for the night.
Yeah,
and
it's after the game.
John gets a message, a video call from Kate, and she's in the room with all the other girls.
In her little lingerie.
Yeah, and she has lingerie on, and she's showing him, and she's like, well, you could, like, come
on
stop
over.
by.
I'm only 3 doors away, but I know Coach is, like, monitoring the hallway, but so you just have to, like...
Use the balcony.
Traverse the balcony and just do acrobats and whatnot to get to me. Like...
And he's like,
almost die to get to me.
And he's like, I don't think so.
But then she shows a little shoulder.
And he's like, you know what? I'll do it. And then she's like,
there's a gift under your bed.
Yes. And he opens it and he's like, is this yours? It's
right. It's a little preview. It's a red thong with a little rose on top.
And she's like, no, it's for you. Like,
I want you to wear it. Yeah. What? Are you saying you're not experienced in this?
Oh, yeah.
Just like
shots at his ego to, like, have him comply. And so then he does try it. And he gets in the thong. She's
gaslighting him.
Oh, yeah. She gets in the thong.
And it works.
And he starts kind of traversing over. And he gets to the room.
And
he gets in the bed. Yeah. And then the door opens.
Oh, the bathroom door opens. And it's not Kate.
It's the coach.
It's the women's cheerleading coach.
Yeah. And she is like...
She's pissed. She grabs him by the ear, takes him into the hallway, knocks on the basketball coach's door. He answers. He's like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" They're all looking.
Everybody
they're all taking pictures, videos, blah blah blah.
In this thong.
But does he look good in that red thong?
God.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh my
Christ.
God. But yeah, everybody's taking pictures, and then Kate comes down. She's like, "Oh my god, I said 3 instead of 4."
Yeah.
Oh man, so funny. So now, it's the next day, it's at school or whatever. It's like the following week.
John comes in, he goes to basketball practice.
And he's wearing the thong.
He's wearing a thong.
And he's owning it, just like Regina George did with the cutout tank tops.
Yes.
He's owning it. He's like, it's aerodynamic. Like, it makes you do basketball so much better. Do it with me. And they're all just doing flips now. They all learned how to do flips.
Apparently, he could.
The magical powers of thongs.
It's like having your best friend sleep in a silk hammock, he says.
Yeah, so funny.
So then we get to the point that you mentioned earlier where John confesses to Kate that he's trying. Like, he's trying his best with her. And he says that she's the one, and he gives her his watch.
Whipped and whatnot. He screams it out so everybody can hear, and he gives her his watch.
And he asks her to be his girlfriend.
And she's like taken aback. She's like, "Holy shit! He really does have feelings for me. Like, this is not. He's never done this to any girl. He's not known for that. He has a reputation around the school that he's a player. That he dates different women from different cliques. So
especially now that they've been like ousting him.
Yeah. He dates different women from different cliques, so they never they have no chance of intermingling and never really knowing. But the reputation, like, that he's dating other women at the same time. Like, that he's getting to know other women.
Yeah. So we get back to a scene where Kate is talking to the girls, and Kate basically says she's out.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Like,
she's like, I'll let him know that it's, like, basically not saying, like, I'm gonna let him know the whole truth, but I'm going to end it with him. Like, I just can't. Like, I don't want to hurt him. Blah blah blah. So she leaves, and then the savvy tech girl, the blonde one, she's like, I got an idea, and then she conjures up whatever she conjures up, which we see later on.
Right.
But Brittany Snow character walks out of the back room first, and then a few minutes later, the other 3 girls walk out, and you see John Tucker's brother, Penn Badgley's character, like, he notices that, and then he confronts Brittany Snow, saying, like, I don't know what you guys are cooking up.
And he just
but it's very suspicious.
Her,
yeah. And she just, like, brushes him off, just like, just leave me alone, whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it's John Tucker's birthday bash, and it's MTV style.
Well, before that, there's a conversation between Kate and her mom,
right,
and
where they kind of make amends,
but then she also says something that's kind of like out of hand. It's like that Kate's always chosen to be invisible. I'm like,
oh yeah.
People in those situations,
and Kate like kind of accepts it. She's like, you know what? Yeah, I kind of do make myself invisible.
It's like, no, you never give me the opportunity to be myself because I'm constantly moving because you want to date men that don't want to be with you.
Right, and now we have to move because you don't want to have the chance of running into them or whatever the fuck the reasoning is. But girl, you don't give me the chance to not be invisible.
Right. No, that part.
Rude.
So then we get to John Tucker's birthday party.
Yeah. This is where they were supposed to end the whole plan anyways. This was supposed to be the big shebang.
Exactly.
Brittany Snow's character, obviously she said, like, she doesn't want to be part of that anymore. So she was going to tell John Tucker, hey, like, everything's been a lie. But, more privately.
Yeah.
The three girls ended up giving the CD that they made with all the film footage
to the DJ.
which
DJ
is,
Tommy.
Yeah, the best friend, John Tucker's best friend.
Yeah.
And
you see him throughout the movie kind of like knowing.
He knows everything.
Yeah,
he knows everything.
He's the mascot.
He is the right hand. He is the hand.
He is the wingman.
He is the hand to John Tucker. But at the party he plays the video, and it's a bunch of montage of, oh, happy birthday, John Tucker, we love you, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of cuts to like, oh, things that he's the moment where he gives the watch to Kate's character. Like, first of all, how the fuck did you get that close to get that?
So
whatever.
Silly.
Anyways,
that was funny.
For the plot of the film, it
hole.
works. There's a lot of plot holes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just has a bunch of like footages of them together, and then it ends when early in the plan they get Kate to basically say in a salty, very like aggressive way of like, oh, John Tucker, you are not the man of my dreams, or whatever.
Yes, and this was like previously recorded, and like they had just
before
saved it.
Everything really went down. It was before they even went on their first date, because it was at the first day she was a cheerleader.
It was literally when they made like their plan,
the beginning of the
first
movie.
Plan, yeah. And the girls had kind of saved that, and now that Kate's out, like they still had that to use.
So so then
and it plays in the moment with Kate on stage.
The cake
with
is
him.
coming out,
and it's
then
just
she
not good.
she cuts the film, and then she's speaking on the microphone, saying, just laying it all out, how it was all a plan, blah blah blah, and then one heckler of the crowd basically like throws a drink at her, and then the three girls come up into the stage to defend her. They get drinks thrown at them, and then it just devolves into everybody's okay, and now it's a food fight.
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing the cake around, the drinks around. It's just one big food fight. The cleaning cost is going to go up after this.
Yeah.
But they don't care, I guess, because we don't see. The only parent that we get is Kate's parent.
Yeah.
We don't see anybody like who is planning his birthday party. I guess it's just him and his friends. I guess parents don't exist. This is just a Charlie Brown town where parents don't exist. Except for Kate's parent.
There is no lesson, I feel like, at the end of this movie, which is like I think the biggest thing that it like
what early 2000 rom-coms do anyways,
Mean Girls.
What about Mean Girls? Except for Mean Girls, because Mean Girls was written by Tina Fey, an actual writer.
But you should at least have like an end to the journey, I feel.
The end to the journey was like, well, guys will be guys and girls will be girls.
No, it was literally that, and it was so fucking annoying. No, literally it says, I think it ends with like, John never lied to a girl again.
Yeah,
and he's like trying polyamory.
So he's like, he has his hand over some girl's shoulder and saying, "Well, now that I'm trying not to lie, meet
other
Tiffany, my other girlfriend." And now he has his hand around some other girl's shoulder, and he's like, "I think we could make this work." Yes, and it's like, oh my god, he's a freak. He's a freak.
Is a legend.
And Kate is a legend. She took down, like, whatever. She exposed him for who he is, even though I guess the school already accepted who. The plot didn't really make sense. If you think about it, don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Yes. It's entertaining as fuck. It's just a nostalgic movie. I watched this, like I said, I was in 6th grade. This was my gay awakening. Like, he's just so fucking hot. So there's plans of a sequel coming. Well, it's somewhat written. It's, the idea's out there. It hasn't been picked up yet, but apparently the original cast is all up for it. Like, we'll get everybody back. The main character, Jesse McAuliffe, who plays John Tucker, he said that the sequel will basically be him as a dad, and he has a daughter, and he doesn't want his daughter to be John Tuckered, essentially. That's basically somewhat of the premise, It's not really fudged out.
It's like a new it's like what had been lacking in the whole movie, which is like parental
guidance.
Yeah. So that'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our review of 2006 John Tucker Must Die.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by, I think, this person named Betty Thomas.
Girl,
I don't know.
I do not have it written down.
Oh,
so
Betty Thomas. I was right. I have it written down.
Oh.
And then obviously, yeah, we have the whole cast. Jet McAuliffe, Sophia Bush, Ashanti, Brittany Snow, Jenny McCarthy, Ariel Cabell, Penn Badgley. And I hope you liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you watched it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, did you watch it?
And if you didn't, go watch it because maybe we'll be getting a sequel sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll take a little break.
Yeah.
And what? And we'll come back
to our What About?
To our What About. So stay tuned. Ciao.
Welcome back, everybody, and our final segment of the day, of the week. Of the
what about? So, what's your what about?
My what about? Recent news. I think it was like on Saturday or Friday, the FDA reportedly will be ending its ban on sperm donations from men who have sex with men. So basically, for the longest time, I didn't write down information for it.
Oh.
But
interesting.
I don't know when the ban started. I just know that it has been in place for decades.
Right.
And that it will be ending soon. And that's really exciting for me because like there's been multiple bans like this for gay men in the
medical field, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you can't be a part be a part of the solution. You can't volunteer because we are already kind of like predispositioning you to be.
It's all that fear of AIDS, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Of HIV
they're like
all that.
You're just more likely to
It's
have
very outdated, the information that they have, and it's the view that they have. Like, for example, where we couldn't donate blood.
Yes, exactly. And that was recently overturned, I believe. Or is it still in place?
I don't know. I think it was overturned for 2020, like for the pandemic. I think it was that. I honestly,
you're right.
I don't remember, but
I remember going to...
it still has that connotation where you feel like you still, as a gay man, that you can't go donate blood. Why? Because you're infected? Why? Like, it doesn't make sense. First of all, not everybody is infected, and you screen the blood anyways.
Yeah.
So you're not reusing the needle, so it's very outdated, the view.
Exactly.
Like, nobody will get it through any kind of contact, unless if it's sexual.
Yeah.
So and obviously like blood transfusion and whatnot, but you're not using the same needles. Right. So what are we doing?
Right. And like the reason why I chose this to be my what about is because similarly to donating blood, it would remind me of like moments where in high school, like you know how like the red bus would come, right? So that you guys could all the students could donate. Yeah, right. You'd skip classes. They'd give you
if you donate
pastries at the end.
What is it called? Platelets.
Yeah. Platelets.
If you donate platelets, you're on that bus for a couple hours because
you miss
the process.
School day, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much you miss half the day of the school. It takes like 40 minutes for the platelets to be drawn or whatever, but then you have to stay on the bus so like for another 30 minutes so they make sure that you don't faint.
Yeah,
and then you have to go eat something, so that's another hour that you can waste. Basically you miss periods of classes. It's amazing, but yes.
But what I was going to say is that I always felt very self-conscious and like just kind of it felt wrong to like know that I was gay and know that I was like
it really doesn't help
a man, a person having sex with other men, and that it's one of the very early discriminations that I felt as as someone who came out as gay in high school and whatnot. It makes you feel as though like you can't be like a
part of society.
Yeah. Like you are just ousted,
you're so like apparently like you have that disease and whatever. Like first of all, not everybody has it, and it's like again, it's just the views are so outdated, the rules are so outdated.
Yeah,
time to change it. Well, I'm glad the FDA is reversing some of that course.
Yeah.
You know?
So if you need some extra cash and you are willing to donate your sperm and you're gay, hey, good news.
Good news. You can donate some sperm.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well. I mean. The economy is tight, so might as well.
Yeah. And that's my what about. What is your what about, my lovely?
So my what about is a love journey.
Oh, okay. I'm here for that.
Specifically through Brenda's song and what's his name? Macaulay Culkin. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Macaulay Culkin.
I don't know how I feel.
Why? Why? I know it's very.
I love Brenda's song.
If you think about it, we have Richie Rich, who it was played by Macaulay. I can't pronounce his name correctly.
Are they together?
They're together. They're married and they have a child together.
I forgot.
The journey.
Let me wind it back. I do approve. It's just I'm not the biggest fan of Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
But if they are together,
they're together and they're happy and they have a child together and. I mean, we have Brenda's song who played
Wendy Wu.
Yes, but the iconic London Tipton, who is a play on the Hilton family and whatnot. Yes. But and then we have Richie Rich, who is Macaulay Culkin, and it just they both started off in these prominent roles of they're both like rich kids.
Yeah.
And now they're together. So it's like a nostalgic.
They've had similar come-ups in like their acting
and their
journeys.
acting right, exactly. So recently they went on a kid-free vacation.
Lovely.
And Macaulay, he documented it throughout it all.
Oh no, how so?
And so he posted this on Instagram, a carousel of pictures. You can go check it out at his Instagram page. So he commented, so the lady and I went to Nobu, whatever, the hotel in Cabos for her birthday, for Brenda's birthday. And on our first day, we went to the gift shop and I found this shirt. And the shirt is what the staff use at the hotel, at the resort.
Yeah, like a uniform.
Yeah. And since now I looked like the staff and I decided to spend my 4 days there masquerading as a poolside waiter, housekeeper, cabana boy, room service attendant, and a bellhop. And
this man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They both are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for each other.
Look at him.
So it's just a carousel. Like the first picture is him sporting the shirt. And then the next one, he's bringing room service to Brenda's song, and Brenda's song is like has a confused face. She's playing the part.
Like, what the fuck?
And then the next one, he's attending the bed, and then the next one, he's bringing a drink to her on the poolside. She has a big grin on her. First of all, that bikini on her, girl, she looks great.
Stunning.
She is aging well. And then he's bringing a towel to her in the next photo.
Looks happy.
They both look so happy together.
That's so sweet to see.
And then the next one, he's being a bellhop, and she's like she just has this look. I don't know how to describe it, but they're both so funny and they're both so cute. And I don't know,
we need a vacation.
We need a vacation. First of all, yes, we need a vacation. But second of all, I don't know. Their relationship may be weird, but they just seem so happy. I love that.
And that's all you need.
And that's all you need. You just need to find your person.
Nobody's opinion matters.
Exactly.
My opinion doesn't matter.
Your opinion does not matter. Exactly. This podcast maybe doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. But I mean, if you're listening to it, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the listeners. No, but that's my what about. It's just a cute little love story.
I love that. No, that's so good.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I guess we reached to the end of the episode.
Yeah, guys.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I think I enjoyed it.
I mean, we had a pretty good episode. We talked about Miss Beyoncé, and then we talked about a movie that we both found nostalgic and something that we grew up on, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Mm-hmm.
We love you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
And we'll see you next. Well, you'll listen to us next week. We'll see you next week. We're always looking. Look outside the window. Look behind you. Oh my God! Look behind you.
Oh my God! He's right there. We're right there.
We're right there. Did you see us? But anyways, love you.
Wonderful.
Everything is wonderful. That's right.
Everything is wonderful.
Adios.
Amigo. Bye-bye.